Okay, hello. We are going to be doing the last part of Chapter 8. Now, this is the part that usually gives people the most trouble, so what I'm hoping to do is have you able to watch this video tonight, and then you'll be all set to just simply do some work in the class after. And that way we can really get down to where people are having some trouble. So I'm thinking this is going to really help you out. So we're going to do two questions. Just to give you an idea about what kind of questions would be involved when we do systems of equations. So without further ado, let's start on the first one. Okay, so let's look at the question. A triangle has a perimeter of 112 meters and an area of 16y. Okay, so the m in this case is just meters, it's a distance. In fact, I don't know whether the meter should be there, but let's just pretend it's all in meters, and the area is 16y, yeah, because I can see that a y is involved in talking about the different sides there. So I'm trying to determine the value of x and y. And since this chapter is on systems of equations, I know right away that I'll be making at least two different equations. And I don't know, I think it seems pretty obvious about how I'm going to approach this. So let's just say, well, how will I go with this? I'm going to start off by saying, well, I got a perimeter, and I got a perimeter of 112. I got an area 16y. So maybe, and this becomes common for you, is I want to translate the English into math. Okay, so let's just see. How can I make the perimeter into a math equation? Well, this is pretty easy. In fact, I'm pretty sure that most of you guys have already done this before, this kind of thing. So let's look at it. Perimeter is nothing more than the sum of all the sides. So I've got a 2x, and I'm adding the 7x minus 1, and I'm adding the, and I should, you know, honestly, I should put brackets around that. And then I'm plus y plus 29. So really, I should put brackets around everything I'm working with, just so it's really clear about what I'm up to. This side plus this side plus this side, and it says it equals 112. Okay, cool. So I got an equation here. Can anything add up? Maybe I can simplify this a bit. Sure, yeah, 2x plus 7x, that's 9x. I got a y, just a y, so plus y. And I got a negative 1 plus a 29, so that's plus 28. Equals 112. In fact, I can bring that 28 over, can't I? So what will I get with it? Let me see. If I bring that over, I'm going to end up subtracting 28 from 112. So let me just whoosh. This is all going to become equal to 84. So there, I have an equation, and I've simplified it right down, so actually it doesn't look that scary. And the other one I want to try here is probably the area. Let's see what area it gives me. So area in this case, now in this case I need to realize I'm dealing with a triangle. So triangle is, if we forgot, it's 1/2 the base times the height. So what is my, I got, well, base, that's 7x minus 1. Oh, I should point out it's a half times this. Half times the base, and what is the height here? It's 2x. So, and another way of writing that half, if I wanted to write that a little better, is that it's the same as saying this whole thing divided by 2. And that's kind of useful because then I can see that since these are multiplying together, I've got some common factors I can get rid of. So what do I end up with? Oh, I've even forgot. It equals 16y, doesn't it? So what do I end up with? I get a, well, an x times each of these. So I get a 7x squared minus x equals 16y. So now I've got two equations. So the question is, how can I now bring these together? Now you have two choices. Remember, you have substitution or elimination. Now in this case, I'm going to go with substitution. By taking, oh, I should label these. This is number 1, this is number 2. There's my two equations. So now I'm going to make, I'm going to rearrange number 1. I'm going to rewrite 1. And so I'm going to make that so that I keep the y alone. If I take the y and I bring it in there, then everything will be based upon x's and numbers, and I can solve that. So y equals, it'll be the 84, but minus the 9x. That's fantastic. Now I put it into 2, and what does that look like? Well, that just means, okay, let me see. Number 2 is 7x squared minus x equals 16y. And y in this case now, brackets, is 84 minus 9x. Yeah, maybe I can work with this. What do I get? Well, I get my 7x squared. I get my minus x. That's equal to, let me see, 16 times 84. Calculators out. I get 1344. And this is a negative, what do we got? 144x. Okay, a little daunting, but not crazy. So it's a quadratic. Bring it all over. Okay, so I'm going to have a 7x squared. That's going to be plus 143x, because I'm just subtracting the 1x over here, minus 1344 equals 0. So the question is what does this end up looking like? Now, if you start trying to factor it, you'll be able to do it. I'll very quickly, instead of going through the trouble of showing you all the parts of that, I'm just going to look at this. X minus 7, its factors out is x minus 7 and 7x plus 192. Very nice and neat factoring, actually, as it turns out. And you'll end up then with x equal to 7 or negative 192 over 7. Now I have two answers, but I know I can get rid of this one, and for a very simple reason. It's negative, and I can't have a negative x value. I can't, because look at this, 2 times x. 2 times a negative value suggests that I have a negative length, and I can't do that. So therefore, I'm really only left with one x value. The only thing left after this then is that I got to find out what the y is. So if x equals 7, y equals what? Well, I can use anything I like. I really like this one. Y equals 84 minus 9 times 7. I've just plugged it into my rewrite there. So I took this guy, and I just simply used it to plug in. And I will end up with a y of 21. So my answer, in this case, is 7, x equals 7, and y equals 21. And I'm done. Okay. Okay, question number 2. Now, I am not going to answer this question, but I am going to help you create the equations. To me, the biggest problem with these types of questions is it's not about doing the work. You guys can do a system of equations. You know how to do substitution. You know how to do elimination. And with a bit of practice, that becomes very easy for you. What doesn't seem to become easy for anybody is doing the translating. Taking that question and turning it into the math equation. So, and this is a really good example of it. So let's take a look at this. One number plus 4 more than 5 times another adds to 66. So, wow, okay, so what the hell does that mean? And then I have another one that says 3 times the first number plus 8 less the square of the second adds to 127. So I got to figure out the 2 numbers. So I got 2 numbers. Let's find our way through this. So I'm going to have an x and I'm going to have a y. Because why not? Okay, so let's talk about this. One number. So this is equation 1. One number plus 4 more than 5 times another. It's 4 more than, okay, I'm adding, I got that, plus, so I got the plus part. One number, got that, that's there. Then plus, look at this, 4 more than 5 times another. Well, by another, that's the y, but it's 5 times another. Okay, so plus 5 times another, but it's plus 5 times another plus 4 more. So what does this whole thing mean? It's 5 times y plus 4 more. And if I put that in brackets, that's really what that whole part there means. One number plus 4 more than 5 times another. So you can see why that actually gets a little complicated. And what does that equal? It adds to, I'm adding, it adds to. What do we mean by that? It means equals. It gives me a 67. Oh, okay, so that wasn't horrible. Let's try the second one. So think about how I've kind of separated all the parts out and made it clear what each one might mean. Now, 3 times the first number. Okay, so 3 times the first number. All right, well, what do we got there? 3 times the first number. Well, first number I said was x, so 3 times the first number is 3x. Okay, not so bad, not so bad. Plus, okay, here we go, another weird one. 8 less the square of the second. 8 less the square. 8 less the square. So it's 8 less than the square of the second. So if I took the square of the second one, squared the second one, and I took 8 less of that, so minus 8. So that's what that whole thing. And notice how I'm saying, because it's all in one little glob there, I'm putting it in brackets. It makes it easier to understand, because when I can read, I go 3 times x plus 8 less than square of y. Okay, all right. That's exactly what I'm saying up there. Adds to. That means equals 127. And right off the bat, I can see that I've made a proper set of equations. And the easy way about this is you want to be able to read it yourself. So if I read this without looking at the question above, I'd say x plus 4 more than 5 times y equals 67. Is that what I said up here? One number, x, plus 4 more than 5 times another adds the 60. Well, yeah, that is what I said. So it works really well. Now I'm going to give you a lot more questions tomorrow, but take a look at these, try to answer them. In fact, I hope that you paused the video at the beginning and tried to do the first one on your own and saw how close you could get. But we'll do a lot more of these tomorrow and get a bit of practice in there so we're ready for the quiz on Friday. Okay, I will see you then. Bye now.